largest snowfalls in Kansas City history. So I found it fascinating. But I'll say this. The 6 days, Christmas and Christmas Day weren't bad. You didn't have any snow to mess around with. You've had no snow to deal with. One basic shovelable snow this winter, and even if you didn't shovel,
wasn't really shovel.
It
Yeah,
would melt the next day or whatever. But this is going to be, I don't know, and keep in mind, it's very hard to pinpoint, I think, for them as far as how much snow you're getting. Getting a half foot, getting 4 to 8.
it's all
4
over
to
the
7.
place right now.
It is over the place, and
Yeah.
I understand that. I will say this. They do miss on the snowfall totals a lot, and it's not an easy thing to do what they do. But there's one thing they don't miss on, and that's how cold it's going to be.
The cold, correct.
When they say, hey, it's going to be below 0 wind chills or it's going to be colder than hell, they don't miss on that. I mean, that part is accurate. So if you're just looking for how cold it's going to be, I can't, whatever snow's going to be, but they don't miss that.
I always thought you were such a cold weather guy.
Oh, I love cold weather.
Like me and Logan talked about this last week, and he's a cold weather guy, and he was complaining about how warm this winter's been, and I'm loving it. I thought you were a cold winter guy.
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love cold weather. I'm like, I wear shorts all the time. I got them on right now.
That's still crazy.
I do have a rule, though. If it's 0 to 10 degrees or something, I will put on pants.
There's a threshold for you.
There's a threshold. Or go to weddings, or as long as it's not during the fall, I'll put pants on for weddings and things like that, or funerals, those kind of things. But no, I like the colder weather. I always have. I like it cooler at night. I like the colder temperatures. So no, I'm just saying the snow can be an issue. Like, I love snow around Christmas. I like it, a snowy Christmas or whatever. But after that, I'm like, okay, whatever. It's a pain in the butt to get rid of and all that, so I get it.
I like the snow.
But I don't mind it. I like the 4 seasons.
As long as there's no ice. The ice is where problems
this is going to be.
So as long as it's just the snow, they're anywhere from I think there's 4 to maybe 8 to 10 inches or so, which again is a pretty. I feel like that's a pretty broad spectrum.
It's a broad spectrum.
That's right. But
just put it this way, it'll probably snow, but it's going to be damn cold.
Yeah.
And when I say damn cold, there's a difference. Like, to me, 20, 25, 30, it's not very cold. Or 15, but getting to the 0 wind chills, whenever you have to drip your faucets, that's getting cold.
Yep, agreed.
So I will say this. I did say earlier on Twitter, I said when I did the Royals Insider stuff when Vern, came home on this side of the glass for a while. And so I was with Ned all the time, right? With Ned Yost. This is after the World Series and all this. Is back in 17, 18, something like that. So Ned was always keen on the weather. And typically baseball managers are, because they have to look at the weather, look at the clouds, look at the forecast, and they have to think, like, okay, is my starting pitching, if I throw him out there, is it only going to be 2 innings before that rain comes? But it came to the conclusion, being around Ned, that was the best meteorologist I was ever around. He's not a meteorologist. He's a baseball manager. But he was always accurate, and he was always right. And I was sitting there going, that's who TV should put on. Get Q. Get him on there. Get baseball managers to do weather. Because you know what? These guys don't miss.
Yeah, but to be fair, they're only dealing with spring, summer, maybe into fallish weather. I mean, this
they
whole
have to
winter
polish up a
thing
little bit. They have
is
to polish up a little bit.
amount of snow coming in, the wind chill factor, all that stuff. I think that's a whole different ball game.
All right, whatever. I think it'd be more entertaining.
It would be more entertaining.
100%
No
more
qualms
entertaining.
with that. Yes.
In poor sports, man, they get 1 minute to talk now. So if there's big Chiefs news or whatever, because they shrink everything when there's weather to talk about, because it's their Super Bowl. This weekend is their Super Bowl, their big event. And then you can play bingo with it too on the news and stuff, because there's always a story about the hardware stores, the shovels being sold, the salt being, guarantee that's a bingo space. And then the grocery stores,
Oh yeah,
live
toilet
shots
paper,
from the empty bread aisles.
I was out today and it was crazy.
I bet it was.
I was out today at midday and it was the grocery store was packed.
Which is like that, and I get it when they think, all right, power may go down for a week or something like that if it goes down.
But it's just going to be cold.
But typically ice would do that.
Right.
Would do that. And typically the snowstorms we get here, it may be half a foot of snow or something, but there's a good chance it's going to be in the 40s or 50s after that. Now this one's going to linger, for a little while. But people typically aren't snowed in this town for more than a day or so. And this is perfect for Kansas City because it's a weekend storm.
Agreed.
And I know people do have
timing.
to work on the weekend and stuff, but the roads won't be that busy, so it'll be kind of perfect. So,
yeah.
Anyway, happy holidays, happy New Year, Julio.
That's right.
But what is this? January 22nd, it'll be January 23rd before
Yeah.
you get your real first measurable snow. I know we had
been
a snow
spoiled.
before, but man.
We've been spoiled.
913-586-7965 is the phone number. It's also the Jay Southland Tow Service text line. 913-586-7965. Going to get a lot into the football games this weekend. They're kind of fascinating with what's going on in Denver. And we'll get more into those games because that Buffalo Bills and Denver Broncos game, there was funny coaching errors in
Still
all those
giving us
games.
treats, right?
Yeah, but I mean, the coaches really didn't get crap because they won the games. But could they have lost them? Very much so, with some coaching errors that happened. Eric Bieniemy back in Kansas City, kind of the worst kept secret that went out there. I know people had kind of speculated on that. Nate Taylor, we had a cut from him where he said EB was the leader in the clubhouse. I know Fesco has been talking about it a lot too. And it kind of makes sense for what they do. They bring in Chad O'Shea to be their wide receiver coach. Again, the Patriots are, saying he's great, and that's great. If you bring a wide receiver coach, something that makes a huge difference for this team. But it should make a difference. Now you just need the receivers to coach. You got to bring in the receivers to coach. But I've just come to the realization, this is what they're going to do, man. Like, this was the job, this was the opportunity, Julio. I thought, all right, finally jobs are open in Kansas City because they don't become open very often. I mean, these coaches stay. Andy Reid walked through that door in 2013 with Bieniemy. He walked in that door with Dave Tobe. He walked in that door with a lot of people. Obviously, Spags came later and helped them get the rings, but they don't typically have good job openings. And I'm not really talking about the wide receiver coach, talking about offensive coordinator. These jobs don't open all the time. But you needed a special person for it. Obviously, accountability is a big thing, and we know Eric Bieniemy will light people up. I was at the point, though, ready to turn the page. Like, this is an opportunity to bring in some fresh voices and some new ideas from around, the world of football. But I've just come to the point, this is the way it's going to be with this regime. This regime has won, and when they've been to 3 straight Super Bowls, they've been to 5 out of the last 6. They have 3 Super Bowl rings. This is what it's going to be with this group. Yeah. It's about loyalty and who they've been with. Now, I get tired of last year with Pennell coming back and Juju coming back and Clyde. That stuff got old. And now you hear Tyreek Hill maybe and stuff like this. This was the opportunity to go a different direction. They chose not to, but that's just come that realization. Just get used to this because this is what they do.
Yeah, that's not what Andy does. And you're right. I mean, it's hard to argue with the method to their madness. They've had success. And Andy's shown, even when these positions do open up, he typically either, again, it's a retread or it's someone he promotes from within.
And it was a special job type too.
Yeah.
But you kind of wanted to hear like a Rappaport, talking about it, or Pelissero or Schefter saying, Chiefs are going to interview so-and-so today. Yeah. Chiefs are going to interview so-and-so tomorrow. When other people are really vying for the job and you're interviewing a bunch of people for it, and you decide on EB, that's fine. But you went through the process and you got to hear some new ideas. But the problem is with this job, it's not one for a, established offensive coordinator or a, fired head coach to come in here and be an offensive coordinator, because it's limited responsibilities when you're with the guy that calls the plays. You don't call the plays. It's not your offense. What they need is somebody that can yell at people, hold accountability with the team, and step back and realize this is Andy Reid's offense.
Well,
so it's tough to fill.
Andy's getting up there, right? I think last year he was just wearing too many hats, and Andy likes to. He brought in Bieniemy for a reason. I mean, Mahomes said it himself with the whole accountability factor, and I thought that was a little bit overlooked amongst some other things that he said. But I for one, am happy. It feels like they're bringing in some authoritative adults into the room now that will hold players accountable. And I think over this last season, and even maybe a little bit the season before, some of the things that you saw pop up were the little things, right? The penalties, the attention to detail, and especially last season, it felt like there were some attention to detail things that were just being overlooked. That's what Bieniemy's going to bring in. That's what bringing in this new wide receivers coach is, that has that much experience with, over so mmany years in the NFL. Those attention to detail and holding players accountable to paying attention to those little things.
Well, it's a different philosophy than I had. My own philosophy is like, I really respect, and I brought up before what Hayden Fry did at Iowa as a head coach. When he interviewed other coaches to be on his coaching staff, he looked at him and thought, can this guy be a head coach? Can he go on and be a head coach elsewhere? They have the desire to get promoted.
But that's not what Andy prefers. Consistency, right?
Exactly.
Andy wants
People
to
do
bring
it differently.
someone in that, and I quite honestly agree with it. Is that it's cool to bring in the hip young coach that's going to come up, but then you're going to end up having to replace him in 2 or 3 years.
Well, I just understand this is the way it's going to be.
Right.
That's the way. But technically go an offensive coordinator and wants to be a head coach. I want him to do a great job. He wants to be a head coach at some point. EB's had his opportunities to do these interviews.
He'll
for him.
be here for as long as Andy wants him.
100%.
He will be here, and we don't have to worry about figuring things out in another year or
And
two.
your wide
when
receiver
someone
coach,
else
that's
moves
what
on.
he is.
Yeah.
Wide receiver coach. Like, I
Exactly.
don't want the North Turner type, that kind of, where
Yeah.
he had his chance as head coach, but he's an offensive coordinator. You realize Tom Capers, not a defensive coordinator. He's not a head coach. He's a defensive coordinator. These coaches that had taken all these roles, but just realize what their role is. So you have to get used to it. This is the way they're going to do things going forward. But, yes, there was times where Chiefs receivers aren't breaking off man coverage, where they're dropping footballs. You got to go respond to somebody. And whether the wide receiver, Coach O'Shea, wants to get in somebody's face or not, you think EB will. EB
O'Shea
will.
also has enough validity under his belt.
Yeah, he's got rings.
I mean, he's got the attention. He commands the attention in the room regardless because he has the resume.
And if
to
he's
back
not
it
going
up.
to get on him, EB will.
Yeah. Yep.
And whoever they bring in a running backs
And he
coach
can
will
go
be
back
his
to
system.
being the. I think he just wore too many hats last year,
Good
man. Now
cop,
he can
bad
go
cop.
back. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and get that with there. But it's just the way it's going to be. You have to get used to it. But, draft time is coming up. It's time to put some replacements in there. And there's a lot of different directions the Chiefs can go in the draft. Mel Kiper just put out his latest mock.
Yeah, I don't like it.
You don't like it. I don't like it either.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. And we'll see where we go. He's not one of the most accurate. I mean, you look at some of the most accurate. They always, they draft. If you want to check it out, they put the best mockers on there. Who was the most accurate last year? Like whose mock draft was accurate? But it's tough though because they'll put out like 5 or 6 of them. So you have to find the right one because there will be a bunch of mock drafts. But 913-586-7965. Have people come off the Ruben Bain thing? You still on that? Because it's looking more and more like he's going to be, top
he's not
5
gonna
pick.
be there. Yeah.
Bailey, he's probably going to be gone too.
Yeah.
So you're going to be okay with getting a Carnell Tate? He could be gone too. I mean, he's, slotted 4, 5, 6, something like that. He could be gone too. Could be a situation where all the Chiefs suddenly they're looking at Denzel Boston. They're looking at Keldrick Falk. They're looking at Peter Woods. They're looking at different players because the Baileys, the Bains, the Carnell Tates might not be there.
I hate to complain about having the 9th pick, but isn't it like us as being a Chiefs fan that the draft is falling this way and we're not having 2, 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks going in the first round. Instead, we have just one. And it does kind of suck as a Chiefs fan that we're not really. I won't be surprised if nothing falls to us that shouldn't.
We'll
if that makes
discuss
sense.
that because
I'm
guys
kinda
are going back
disappointed.
to school. It couldn't be good. It can be bad. I'll explain it next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
The football playoffs are here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all of the gridiron action. Right now, you can make entries and win money in Missouri. And playing on Underdog is so easy. Just choose if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats, like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. Get them right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. And I love playing on the Underdog app. Not only do I like football, but I love basketball and hockey as well. I can mix and match selections from each sport into one entry to see what I do. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use promo code BOB to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code BOB. Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 and over and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms. _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Don't let winter catch you off guard. Keep your family cozy with a $69 heating system tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. We have pros available 7 days a week to keep your system running at peak efficiency, helping prevent costly breakdowns, lower energy bills, and keep your home warm all winter long. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the last 2 minutes of a televised football game,
there's another timeout. We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause. And Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Did you know we have an Instagram channel? MVP Monday, Chiefs Take Tuesday, Best Bets, Fantasy Football Advice, and real-time updates during Chiefs games. Get behind-the-scenes content from all the guys on a daily basis. It's exactly why Instagram was created, to look at a bunch of 30-year-old dudes giving sports opinions. Kansas City's FM sports station and your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Julio Sanchez, producing the operation. 913-586-7965 is the phone number. It's also the Jay Southland Tow Service text line from the 918. Chiefs trade down. How far? I will say this. Usually, first-round grades. You may get, 12 to 16 to even 18, something like that. There might only be 10 or 11 guys with first-round grades this year. And underclassmen, it's fewer and far between. 63, I think, this year. 2021, there was 130. So that's way down. But name, image, likeness came out in 2021, so it changed the game. So guys, they're staying. Like a Justice Haynes, running back from Michigan, would have been, I think, a high draft pick. He's going back to school. Fletcher from Miami, that everybody likes. Guy's got an awesome stiff arm, and the guy is tough to bring down. He makes
He's like a Derrick Henry almost.
And he's coming back. And he already made a decision. He said it back in December. He's coming back. Although agents can get in your ear and everything else, say you're making a big mistake going back. You can make more money in the NFL, but we'll see. And a lot of these guys tape that Neal money, and they stay. Dante Moore, that was a shocker that he didn't go to the Jets because you look at this quarterback class, and it's Mendoza and Dante Moore. The problem is with the Jets, they're going to be in a similar situation next year probably because unless they go out and get a stopgap at quarterback, it might not exist this year for them. Mendoza might work out for the Raiders.
He has no choice.
Yeah, it's going to be Mendoza to
You're
the Raiders.
Clear number one.
He is the best quarterback in this class this year. Dante Moore kind of always felt like, he probably would use some more time going back, but the slot for number 2 will be $54 million in guaranteed money.
a
So
lot
the
of money.
pool will be down, but
Yeah.
it's just where the Chiefs are at this point. And, yeah, you could trade back, but, again, what are you really going to get if you do? And can you? Is there a trade partner just to move back if you're going to move back to 18, 19, something like that? And what are you going to get as far as value as that's concerned? But I just don't know, who's your favorite at this point. Kenyon Sadiq will probably be there. Like, there's the tight end at
I'm
Oregon.
going to pass.
He'll probably be there. That was the hot name at the beginning when they first started putting mocks out and stuff like that. Oh, which, by the way, 2024, when they graded it, Peter Schrager was like number 2. Last year was Todd McShay that had the most accurate mock draft. But Jeremiah Love is who Mel Kiper had the Chiefs getting. They had him going running back. And I understand, hey, the Chiefs need a running back. Makes sense. Get a running back. Jeremiah Love. Love's a great player. Love's a tremendous player. But Chiefs drafting a running back in the first round, sitting at number 9, that's not the direction they need to go.
Not
as
that
good
soon
as
in the
Jeremiah
draft.
Love is.
Not that early in the draft.
Yeah, second, third round, you can get him. And I remind people all the time, four of the top 10 rushers this year were first-round picks. That's it. 6 of the top 10 weren't. Only 4 of the top 10 rushers in the NFL went to the playoffs this year. 6 did. So meaning you can get good backs, not in the first round. Most teams did. Most teams got them in the second, third round. That's where people get their running backs. Yeah, there are the diamonds in the rough, the first-round picks that make a difference for teams, but you got to be good when you're making that pick. And then you have to look at who they played. And I always brought up the Jeremiah Love. Like, he did great against Purdue and teams like that, but he played Miami in game 1 because Miami looked good and they struggled, and they looked good again towards the end of the year. They looked very good towards the end of the year and gave Indiana all they wanted for a national title, but they had a little stretch there where things weren't great for them, and they didn't go to the ACC title game, but they made it to the national title game as far as Miami's concerned. But we all know how damn good the Miami Hurricanes were this year. They were a really good team. But Jeremiah Love had 33 yards against Miami. He had less than 100 the following week against A&M. Yeah, you look great against Purdue. But what did you do against the teams like that? And I'll say this, there's guys like that because everybody all of a sudden liked Reuben Bain. And Reuben Bain was a popular pick for a lot of people. And I know we've gone through with the short arms and stuff like that, which...
But he's done it against the best of the best. I mean, he looked phenomenal in that national championship game.
He looked good in that game. Messidor looked just as good, if not better. And
Agreed.
Akeem Messidor is later in the first round. He's moving up a little bit into the 20s, like 23, 24, something like that. But he was originally slotted like in the second round or at the end of the first. But Akeem Messidor is good. But again, you look at that defensive line. Miami's got a very good defensive line. So how much attention is paid to Reuben Bain? How much to Messidor on the other side? And all of a sudden the interior, and then Jacoby Thomas, their safety blitzes a lot too. He had 3.5 sacks with a safety position. So, because teams do fall in that trap where they draft a guy they consider the best on the defensive line, even though somebody else on the defensive line actually is a better pro going forward because of all the attention that they paid. But Reuben Bain, let's put it this way, and I know there's a lot of people that like Reuben Bain. I doubt the Chiefs are going to be in a position to get him. Now, the arm length, we'll see when he goes to the Combine, Senior Bowl, stuff like that, they'll measure the arms. So you'll get that measurement.
Well, you know, every year we do this where some will fall, some will rise just based off of just purely measurements and not necessarily skill or what they've done in their career. So who knows, man? Who knows? I highly doubt he falls to us, though. I don't know that that's going to happen.
No, I think people will take him. He's a tremendous player. Listen, he's great because he can play on the inside. A lot of people thought when he first came out he would be more moved to the inside with his size and his arm length, if they're short, is what people are saying. But again, it's not official. And nothing's official on the arm length. Because I've seen guys go that supposedly had small hands for quarterbacks, and they go to pro day, and it's much different. I will say this, though. You have to look at what you did. Weeks 3 through 10. And I asked somebody that's really high on Reuben Bain. And I said, okay. In the college football playoffs, he had a good game against Miami. He had a good game against A&M. He didn't do anything against Ole Miss. Nothing. You could barely notice he's on the field. 1 tackle in that game against Ole Miss in the quarterfinals. In the quarterfinals for the college football playoffs. But I'll say this about Reuben Bain, the semifinals against Ole Miss, where he had 1 tackle in that game. Weeks 3 through 10, keep this in mind, Messidor actually led that team in sacks. So Week 3 against South Florida, 0 sacks. Florida, the following week, he had a half sack. The next week, Florida State. The following week, Louisville. The following week, Stanford. The following week, SMU. He did not have a sack. He goes week 3 through 10 with just a sack and a half. That's not great production. Sorry, for a guy that's that dominant, those aren't good stats. Ruben Bain he went 4 straight games this year without a sack. And the problem is, when you look at that, what stands out to you? Some games you just dominate, and some games you don't. Meaning, what type of player are you going to have? Someone that's good all the time, or someone's going to be good in one game and then not so good in the next? Are you going to have the consistency going forward? I mean, these are some of the things that you want to look at as far as draft picks are concerned.
Yeah,
like, do you do everything you can every game? Are you dominant every game? Or do you take 4 or 5 games off and then you're good the next game? That is something that should be a concern.
No, it's not nothing. It's something maybe I'm not knowledgeable enough to have watched tape on him to.
He had 1 tackle, 0 sacks against Louisville. He had 1 tackle, 0 sacks against Stanford.
I mean, my only thing with that is he's known to be, coming into this season, he was the best defensive lineman on that line. So the focus for other offensive lines were to double team him, to where, that gave other players like Mesidor more opportunities to catch.
But you have to be careful because they did pay a lot of attention to Mesidor on the other side.
Yes. But I didn't watch enough tape to know whether that was the case or not, but there's always 2 sides to the story.
I mean, I like the guy, though, because I think they move him inside, too. Inside, outside. You can do a lot of stuff with Ruben Bain.
Yeah. But
you can do a lot of stuff with him.
When it counted most in the playoffs in general, college football playoffs in general, he showed up, and that's when it matters most.
Except for one game. Semifinal against Ole Miss.
Yeah, except for the one game. But otherwise, I mean, I still want him. I do want him, but I just don't think it's realistic.
It's fine. It's fine. I get it. I get the need for pass rush. You're going to need pass rush. This team's going to need pass rush. They've got to the Super Bowl with no receivers before, and they've got to the Super Bowl with a bad pass rush. They've done it both ways. Either way, the Chiefs have done it. And, yes, they do need pass rush. They need interior defensive line help.
Badly.
Later rounds, I think they can get somebody in the secondary because they always have to worry about their secondary, and they've been very good at getting corner safety types in the 3rd round and beyond. They've been very good at it. I'm still stuck on receiver for the first pick. I have not come off that.
Yeah, there's 2.
It's receiver.
There's the 2 that I would want.
Who?
I don't know that either one of those are going to fall.
Carnell?
The Ohio State kid, yeah.
6'3".
He's a beast.
Really like that.
He's a beast, but I
great
don't think
route
he's going
runner.
to last long.
Great hands. Yeah. No, he'll probably be gone first. Next year, he'd probably be the 4th best receiver. This year, he's arguably the best receiver.
Again, not the best year
draft.
for the Chiefs to have the 9th pick in the draft, but here we are.
And the best receiver at Ohio State is not even draft eligible, Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
But Carnell Tate's got the size. He's great in route coverage, and he's great at catching the football. Something that should be important to Chiefs is receivers that catch the football. That's ultimately important.
Yeah, but he's not a prototypical Andy Reid receiver, I think they really need to step out of the box and stop trying to do the Tyreek Hill route, and let's go the more dominant, ball heavy, can at tip of the catch, let's do something a little more dominant.
But I always ask people, they have the pass rush and everything. Where are you getting your receiver? Where are you getting a reliable receiver?
Yep.
Because you don't have one at all on your mocks. Where are you getting it?
Yeah, but the problem,
if Kelsey comes back, which it looks like he might, but there's a chance he doesn't. If he does, he turns 37 next year in October. What production are you going to get from him? And then you counting on Rice to play a full season because he hadn't put one together yet. So you counting on that? Xavier Worthy, as he turned that corner, we thought this year, but then that injury kind of set him back in game 1, play 3, when he's hurt against Kelsey. You going to bring Tyquan Thornton back? Who's going to catch the football for Patrick Mahomes? I mean, that's a question, and that should always be a question. When he comes back for the Chiefs, who will be a wide receiver they can count on? Because, more and more people say they need a pass rush, they need this, they need that. Yeah, that's true, but you got a quarterback in Patrick Mahomes that you may not have again in your lifetime. So what are you going to do about it? You going to get him weapons, or he's going to keep getting defense for him? Is that the direction we're going to go? We're going to take for granted that he can make anybody better and make anybody good? We can say, hey, Patrick, we're in your 30s now, but I know you can make everybody good. Last couple of years hadn't been so good. And they've worked a lot on the line to get the lineup in the defense. But obviously you need to reload the defense because that is something that's very pertinent for the Kansas City Chiefs. I still think pass catcher, a weapon for the Chiefs offense is what they desperately need.
An elite weapon, yes.
A weapon that can get to the end zone. You want to see Rice take that step. You want to see Xavier Worthy take that step. There's a lot of things you want to see with this offense. Coming up next, though, interesting week in Buffalo. Interesting week with these playoff games. We'll talk about that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come see us in store. Shane Company engagement rings are crafted with care from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day, during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts? Well, it means more ways to level up your playoff bets. Maybe you think one of the home teams go down this weekend and it's an underdog that gets it done. How about you take a shot on other upsets, or you take a look at your favorite prop bet involving one of these quarterbacks to throw for 3 or more touchdowns? Then you apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep on rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or bird seed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It is. Like, I really respect that, brother.
Advised.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Julio Sanchez producing. Did you watch the title game? I guess 31 million people watched it.
I did. It was a great game. Oh, my gosh.
It was fun till the
end.
end.
Mendoza run at the end? My gosh.
Yeah.
That was incredible. Incredible.
They stretched it out, but that was fun, man. I mean, it was a nice, great standalone game. Pre-game is basically the whole day. I mean, it was...
Yeah.
It lived up to it, man. A lot of times
I didn't watch
things
any of
don't
that,
live
so.
up to the hype. That lived up to the hype.
Oh, that was 100%. I mean, down to the bitter end, that was an amazing, amazing game.
And for Indiana, it was interesting seeing like all the JMU transfers doing something for Indiana. That just shows you like how far that team came, because a lot of these guys came with Kurt Cignetti when he came. The block punt was a JMU guy. The touchdown was JMU guy. Kalen Black, the running back, him and Hemby were the running backs, but Kalen Black came from JMU. But the JMU guys, linebackers, Aiden Fisher, JMU guy, but they were contributing to that game. It's fun to see.
Best college football team of all time? Uh-huh.
Hard to argue. Yeah, it's hard to argue. From what they went through to get through there and how good the Big Ten has been the last couple of years, and the fact that they ran through it in 16-0. And
I mean, they beat some legitimate teams, too. It wasn't like they just beat a bunch of nobodies.
And it was beating them down, too.
Most of those wins were on the road.
It was a beat down for a lot of these teams.
Yeah.
They got beat down. Now, Miami gave them everything they wanted. I mean, that game could have gone either way.
Yeah.
They're towards the end of the half. You think, okay, just get one more field goal here. What can Indiana do? But Miami just kept coming back. And towards the end of the game, I really thought Miami had a chance at the end to come down and do it. When it was 27-21, like a touchdown, an extra point would win.
They had their shot, man.
Because they had scored back-to-back touchdowns the last two possessions. They were kind of coming alive.
They were rolling. Yeah, they were rolling.
But Indiana, that just gets rid of the excuses, doesn't it? It's like when the Royals won in 15, all the small market teams like Milwaukee and other places, man, the Royals won a World Series with the bad TV contract and, not a high payroll, and they win the World Series. What are we going to do? Because it was the only small market team to win a World Series at that point with the television explosion, which is what happened with baseball. And they did it, and it got rid of excuses for a lot of teams that haven't won.
It's going to get a lot of college coaches fired, isn't it?
Indiana opened KU, K-State, Missouri. If Indiana can do it, you can do it. I get it. They have a huge alumni base. They have the largest alumni base in the country. And, yes, they're starting to get money and cash coming in. Wasn't always like that, though. They wanted to see proof first for this team, and they just went ahead and did it. But it was an unbelievably coached team. They recruited players to fit that system, and that was fun to watch. But it gets rid of a lot of excuses for other teams when you see a team like Indiana. But everything's flipped now. When you can pay players and you can get transfer guys, it's basically free agency, things change. Well, these teams have GMs now. College football's changed. For most of the people now, there are people that love college football now, and clearly the ratings would prove that out. Even the Pop-Tarts Bowl got almost 9 million people watching it. People watch the bowl games. The ratings were good for everything. People crave, they've always wanted minor league football, and I get it. I do too. But, we have the spring football. We had it with the XFL, then the USFL reboot, now the UFL. So you have spring football, but it's just different. It's different when football is played, when the NFL is played, when college football has Saturdays, NFL Sundays. It's different because that's when you're expecting to watch football. And people have been clamoring for, minor league football for a long time. You're never going to see the NFL do it because with college football, they don't have to pay insurance. They don't have to pay anything. They don't have to pay anything for anybody getting hurt. They don't pay for it. The schools do. The conferences do. They don't have to worry about that. But with name, image, and likeness now, it's never been more closer to the pros. Basically, it's watching semi-pro football with your favorite university. Because the average age of these teams are, 24 now, 25, these winning teams. Guys are staying in school longer, taking the name, image, and likeness. These quarterbacks are hopping in the portal and getting a ton of money like Will Howard did at Kansas State, going to Ohio State. It's like Mendoza that already graduated from Cal that goes to Indiana. It's what people do now. It's minor league football now as college football. And people crave football. And there's a reason why college football is so popular, because it is your school or the school that's by you that you follow. And you're basically watching semi-pro football because guys are being paid now for it. And they're staying in school longer, a lot of times getting that extra year of eligibility. And some guys are fighting for 6 and 7 years. And the average age of teams are going up. So the quality of football is going to be better. And as we mentioned, guys are staying in school longer, so it lowers the draft class as far as underclassmen that are declaring for the NFL. And so you got to be better to do it. But guys are more apt to go to the NFL once that they're there. You don't typically have to redshirt them in the NFL because they're ready to roll.
Well, and I think it did wonders for college football this year because people crave parity, man. I think college football, people stopped watching because it got so stale. I mean, it was the same teams over and over again. And it's nice to see like this Cinderella story. And I don't even know if you can call it a Cinderella story necessarily for Indiana. But, I mean, people tuned in a lot of people tuned in just for that. People want to see something different. People want to see more of an even playing field. Like, it just from a competitive standpoint, the viewing pleasure was much better this year in watching so many teams in such close games because they can pay for players now and they can turn that roster over so quickly and they can match some of these traditional powerhouses and make it more competitive. Well,
there's just interesting games, just like with Ohio State and Miami. You look, there was 7 probably first-round picks, like almost 25% of the first-round picks in this year's draft were in that game. There's probably Ohio State probably had 12 guys that will be drafted this year. Not talking first round, just talking throughout the draft. In Indiana, probably 6. There could have been at least 18 draftable players playing in that game, the national title game. So sure, there's some interest because everybody's interested now in the NFL draft. The NFL draft, we've seen these numbers go, right? When Kansas City had it, there's over 350,000 people that came to the streets. Detroit had it, got over to, 1 million. Nashville had it, 650,000 people. More and more people are going to the draft. They're interested. So that's why the draft is just different than watching Major League Baseball draft because you see them play in college. People know these players. Like the Vegas fans got a real good chance to see their quarterback Mendoza.
Yep.
Because that's who they're going to get. Yep. And Chiefs fans can sit there and they can watch Kenyon Sadiq in the playoffs. Again, I look at the playoffs like the combine in action because that's essentially what it was.
It is.
So you get to see this. So there's an interest in watching these college football games to watch a Reuben Bain or to watch a Bailey, to watch a Kenyon Sadiq, to watch some of these players that your team could be drafting when the draft comes up. So it makes it more interesting. But it is semi-pro football now. It is. It just basically is. When you're paying players or whatever and the age limit's higher,
free agency
it just is,
now.
man.
Yeah, it's free. And I like that it doesn't allow some of these more traditional powerhouses to just stash some of these more talented players. Now, if some of these more talented players, they may not be top tier, but maybe second tier, third tier, are now going to other schools that can pay them the money, and they don't have to necessarily sit and sit as a freshman or a sophomore. They can go get paid somewhere else, get playing time, get some veteranship under their belt, and then hit the draft.
Yeah, but it's been fun. It's been
I
fun.
love it.
I love college football. College football is fun, and the whole year it just keeps giving you something. Every game matters, and it does matter because they're always worried like, well, you get the playoffs too much, it's going to water down the regular season. Well, it doesn't because you saw Miami almost didn't get in. There was that argument with Miami or Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Clearly the right team. Miami ended up going to the playoffs, but that's how it is. Ohio State never would have made the 14 playoff last year that won it all. They wouldn't have made it.
Are they going to expand to 16? That's a whole nother topic. Huh?
It comes up tomorrow, to expand to 16, and the Big Ten's hesitant on it because they want a commitment from the SEC that, okay, it'll do 16, but
SEC,
in 2 years
man.
they want to branch out and do 24. Like they really want 24 teams.
That's too much.
In the playoffs.
Too much.
16 would be perfect. That'd be a perfect number. And I'm okay
with where it's at right now, honestly.
I just want more, man. If you can get more football, let's get more football.
Yeah, you're the minority, Bink.
But there is a lot of traveling though. Think about Oregon. What they went across the country.
Yeah, they
then they came back. Then they had to go back down to they played Miami. Then they came back. Then they go out. Oregon played all over the place in the college football playoffs.
Yep.
They were frequent flyer miles. What Oregon had to do, but they never complained. They just went and played the games, and that's how it went. Never got to the NFL. We'll get to Buffalo Bills because I know you're from the Western New York area, but the Buffalo Bills had an interesting week. And do they deserve to be on Tier 1 anymore? Don't think so. We'll talk about that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Is life insurance part of your New Year's resolution? Listen, if you're young and healthy, it's simple, and any old agent can get it done. But if you're 50 to 60 years old with a touch of wide waistband syndrome or have correlating health glitches, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider. Big Lou doesn't bait and switch you in with young and healthy rates only to clobber you with the truth down the road. $1 million of coverage could be as low as $200 per month. And unlike that treadmill, this one won't collect dust in the corner. Call Term Provider, speak with Big Lou, and find out how much he can save you on your new $1 million life insurance policy. Start this year off with peace of mind by calling Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
Hi there, I'm Charlie. And I'm Carter. Our dad is Rex with Rex Buys KC. If you're thinking about selling a home in Kansas City and don't know where to start, our dad can help. Sometimes life throws curveballs, like moving for a new job, dealing with a divorce, or inheriting a house you weren't expecting. Dad doesn't just make offers, he talks with people to help them understand all of their options. No pressure, and it doesn't cost anything to talk with his team. He's a local home buyer who really knows Kansas City. If selling to him is the right choice, he'll give you a fair cash offer, and you can close on your timeline even in as little as 7 days. He buys homes in any condition. No need for repairs, no fees, no surprises. Just an honest, easy process so you feel good about your decision. Want to talk to him? Call 816-330-6000 or go to rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
It's really been amazing, the amount of people that I've had contact me, and the talk is generally centered around QC Kinetics, and whether it's a knee, whether it's a back, a hip, shoulder.
He's always happy to talk about how QC Kinetics all-natural regenerative treatments finally gave him relief without surgery. That's former pro football player Bobby Carpenter.
My message to them is do not wait and push off a week, a month, whatever it is. So if you want to feel better this summer, now would be the time to get in. If you want to feel better in the fall, make sure that you're getting in here so you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Spoken by a man who experienced relief firsthand. QC Kinetics gave this former pro athlete back his mobility, his activity, and they'll do the same for you.
Has really helped me in just my general quality of life.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Welcome back, 96.5 The Fan, Jay Binkley, Julio Sanchez from the text line, 913-586-7965. Shout out, fellas. Have a Coors Light in hand, having a good time. That's what we recommend.
I'm a silver bullet guy.
What's that?
So I'm a silver bullet guy.
Same here. Same here. So, yeah, shout out to you. 512 says, nah, forget parody. College sports have been ruined. Football is gone and basketball is going to follow. It's disgusting. I get that. Like, I get the resentment because you do get tired of seeing some things. Like Carson Beck, the quarterback for Miami.
Oh, how old is he? Like 35 now?
Well, keep this in mind. Let me put this in perspective. Carson Beck was in the same recruiting class in 2020 as C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, both quarterbacks in their third year in the NFL, getting ready to get that contract extension.
Perry Ellis in college football.
And Carson Beck was in that class. Anthony Richardson in that class. He was 13th, ranked 13th. Let me put it this way. Carson Beck enrolled at Georgia.
You're listening to...
When his big-time receiver, Malachi Toney, the freshman, was 11 years old. So he enrolls in Georgia when his receiver at Miami this year was 11 years old. Think about that. Think about the age difference that you see. So I get it when you look at some of these and guys getting extra, that 6th and 7th year, and you don't agree with that because it used to be you have 4. When all of a sudden Diego Pavia, they didn't count the JUCO that he could, his eligibility, so got that extra year this year to play. I understand, but the problem is people are watching it. That's why I said it's like semi-pro football. The ratings would say people aren't tired of it. Now, I get it when you look at it. It needs reform. It definitely needs reform.
Yeah, there needs some guardrails.
And they try to do a little bit with the image likeness to where the schools put out the money now, so to speak, so the donors don't. But there is no police force to it either.
No,
like the $100 handshakes that used to exist in the 80s and stuff, that could still happen today.
Well, and didn't Beck, he didn't even go to school this year technically, right? Didn't he graduate? He's just kind of playing football, and
He's
that's
probably enrolled in some graduate classes. What
Some
I would
nonsense,
assume.
yeah.
Yeah, but he did graduate 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So he's basically not really attended college for the
It's
last 2
different.
years, but played.
Like I
college
said,
football.
it's semi-pro football.
It is a bit ridiculous.
When 31 million people are watching it, they're not going to change it. The ratings were great. The ratings are good for college football play. They're not going to change it. You're not going to change anything with the ratings. But does it need more reform? Does it need a commissioner? Yes, it does. Like you gotta roll this stuff in before it gets out of control.
Yeah.
Like it definitely does need reform. The product's still good.
All these lawsuits coming through with players breaking contracts, and
we've seen it twice now. The new one's Darian Mensah, the quarterback at Duke, said he's coming back. Then all of a sudden he's in the portal. Duke says, no, you're not. We're going to sue you. So you had Washington do that with their quarterback. Now you're seeing it with going on with Duke. So guys have said, hey, I'm staying. Then boom, they hit the transfer portal. Basically, it was rendering contracts use null and void. It doesn't matter you signed a contract because then that nil money comes in and says, wait a minute, you can't transfer. We got a nil deal for you to stay at the school. So it can be a problem. And we've seen 2 instances so far of it. Now, DeMond is going back. Now, Mensah, we'll find out because Miami wants Mensah a lot. So we'll see what happens. That's an interesting thing to watch, but that is a problem. When a player says he's staying and then hits the portal's there, anybody can join into it. But when you say you're staying,
once you sign the contract,
you sign the contract.
That's right.
So yeah, it does need reform. I'm with you. There's problems with it, but everybody watch it. DeMond Williams thought, okay, you know what? LSU now, Lane Kiffin's there. He committed to Lane Kiffin when he's at Ole Miss. I know I just said I'm coming back to Washington and things are good. Then he hits the transfer portal. Now you explain to your teammates and everything why you wanted to leave. But then when those lawsuits were going to come in his direction, Washington, the Big Ten, were going to sue him. He's like, I'll just go on back to Washington. But regardless, the National Football League, did you watch that press conference in Buffalo with Terry Pagula?
That hot mess of a dumpster fire? Yeah.
The owner of the Bills hasn't spoken
great.
in 6 years. Hasn't had a press conference in 6
He
years.
should have kept it that way.
He should have because he interrupted his GM, Billy Bean, and the Keon Coleman throwing him under the bus.
Oh, my gosh.
That was ridiculous. And here's the thing with Keon. Never liked Keon. I remember we sat at the Liberty Landing. We were doing a draft show that night.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't want Keon Coleman. A lot of people did want some Keon Coleman, but when we ran that 40, I was like, nah, Chiefs need more speed than that. He had the slowest 40 of any wide receiver. Buffalo took him. I remember going on with Buffalo, their radio, because we back and forth ever since we traded for Mahomes to get that deal. Which, luckily for Bean, he didn't trade for Mahomes. He filled in the next year. He took over in Buffalo, so he's not responsible for that. But he did get schooled on the Trey McDuffie trade. He did get schooled on Xavier Worthy for Keon Coleman because the back of the draft was rough, and they went Keon. And he even said, hey, we turned the card in for him, so he had to at least agree with it. I know the coaching staff may have wanted Keon, but he had to agree on it.
He's the GM,
He is the
man.
GM, and he had to do it. But, yeah, I remember the Bills fans going, he's great. He's going to be great, and kept showing and tweeting at me with the statistics. When Worthy would have a down game, they'd show me Keon's, and I was like, just hold that energy, and we'll see. But Keon's, there was games he went inactive this week. Now, can he turn into a viable pro at some point? Maybe. If he gets the right wide receiver coach who wouldn't give up on the guy. But there's a reason why I didn't want the Chiefs to draft Keon Coleman.
Yeah, gets his head right.
Yeah. And I do like Worthy. I think this year was a step back for him because dealing with the injury and dealing with other issues. But we'll see. This year, it's put up or shut up time for Xavier Worthy. We'll see if he can.
Why you brought Bieniemy in?
We'll see if he can regain. That's right. We'll see if he can regain some of that form he had at Texas when we led him in receptions and yards for 3 straight years. In 2 of those 3 years, he led the Longhorns in touchdowns. So we'll see if he can regain that form. But the playoffs did happen in Buffalo-Denver game. What were the ratings for it? It was like it got to over 50 million at one point, highest rated Saturday game ever between those two teams. So a lot of people watching, a lot of attention. The NFL was great. Certain games were. Obviously, that Seahawks game where they played San Francisco and had the opening kickoff, and that game was over really as soon as it started. That was a bad game. For the most part, the NFL was good last week, and I am looking forward to Sunday's games. We'll talk about the NFL games this weekend, plus the games they just had next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
At Casey's, when someone asked for a cup of coffee that wouldn't put them in debt, but still had freshly ground beans, rich flavor, and a price that starts with a 9 and ends with a D9 cents, we were too nice to say no. Now get a small coffee, just 99 cents. Limited time only. See store for details.
This message is brought to you by Pizza Hut, because if you're yelling hot on Sundays, why not yell pizza first, Jonas?
I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. Especially when it comes to Pizza Hut. It's so good.
How about the Big New Yorker, Jonas? That's right. It's their biggest pizza, bro. And right now, it's just $10.
I mean, LeVar, that just smells and tastes like success. And for only $10, sign me up.
Before the first hut, grab the Big New Yorker and you're set for the whole game.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more.
And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements: more energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. For January, after the holidays, we're offering to auger your main line or branch line for only $99 per hour. That's $100 off this month only. This also includes a camera inspection with mainline work. Don't start 2026 with things backing up. So call Connolly Plumbing Solutions at 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule.
Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan, KFMZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome back, 8 o'clock hour. Jay Binkley, Julio Sanchez producing the operation. So you watched all the games last weekend, Julio?
I did.
Which one was your favorite? The Bills, Broncos, the Niners, Seahawks, Texans, Patriots, Rams, Bears?
Probably the Rams, Bears. That was probably my favorite.
Rams, Bears, there was some excitement to them. It was kind of fun.
I'm not a Caleb Williams fan, but some of those throws he made, especially that one at the end of the game, I mean, maybe 2 or 3 other quarterbacks could have made that in the league. So
I'm not a fan of any of them. I mean, I'm not one of these guys, you have a side team, like the Dr. Pepper commercial. You have a side team?
No.
I mean, many people do. They have teams they root for through it. I get it. And there's the ones that do it by going out and buying a hat for some reason or a shirt.
Unacceptable.
That is unacceptable. But you might sit on your couch, you sit there and you're rooting for a team, but you don't want anybody to see. Don't want anybody to know. Don't let anybody know. Don't tell anybody. If your wife finds out, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody I'm rooting for the Bills or whatever. But that Bills-Broncos was tough because who you going for in that game? Nobody, to me, like I did not want to see. And that's, you got to, I mean, somebody has to win. Somebody has to win, but I can't root for the Bills. They hate the Chiefs. Believe it or not,
a lot of people, Josh Allen.
There was a lot of people that were rooting for the Bills that I knew. We sat here on Friday night, the text line and everything. A lot of people were rooting for the Bills or for Josh Allen or whatever. that fan base hates the Chiefs. They chant blank the Chiefs when they go to the bathroom. That's what they were doing at Denver. The Broncos fans were doing it with them. Blank the Chiefs. They hate the Chiefs. Bills, because the Chiefs have always been that thing in their way, that team in their way. They hate it. They hate the fact they did a Hallmark movie the year after the Chiefs did. Oh, the Chiefs get everything. They hate the fact the Kansas City company designed their new damn stadium. Like, the Bills hate the Chiefs. In matter of fact, their draft, 5 of the first 6 picks were defense. They bring in Bose. They wanted to stop the Chiefs. Unfortunately for Buffalo, they didn't see the New England Patriots rise up and win the division. They concentrated so much on the Chiefs.
Should have been looking in their own backyard, huh?
You have family from the area, so I get it. That might have been the direction you actually pulled for because you do have family there. But
it was.
That makes sense for you, though. Like, that makes sense for you, Julio.
Painfully, it makes sense.
But
Yes.
I know you'll go for the Chiefs regardless.
Yes, correct.
You know, win or lose, you're going for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's
That's
very
correct.
hard in the NFL when everybody plays everybody. Now in Major League Baseball, everybody plays everybody. It's not like the old days where you pick a National League team or whatever, they'll never see them, but the interleague play came in, and all of a sudden you got to play them. Unless your favorite team is the Padres or whatever, and then all of a sudden the interleague play, every couple of years you didn't like, you know, when the Royals play the Padres, but you went for them the rest of the time. Having the side team. And I think there's more of it in baseball than I see with football. Because football seems to be everybody's, you know, gearing towards Kansas City Chiefs and nobody else. The AFC West, hell no, man.
Yeah. No,
Like, I could never fathom going for the Broncos.
No,
in any
no.
situation. They literally hate the Chiefs. Chiefs fans should hate the Denver Broncos. They're incomplete chant, all that. The Broncos are very arrogant, very cocky. You heard Sean Payton.
Oh, he's the
before
worst,
halftime.
man.
His interview.
It's a nice breath of fire back into this rivalry with having Sean. I love to hate him because he's such a dislikable character.
Yeah, those guys go in to stop the Chiefs, and I get it. That's what they got to do, and they got to bring up this rivalry. But talking at halftime, well, the Chiefs we know they're not a good second half team.
I mean,
so
he
we're gonna
wasn't
do
wrong. Doesn't mean I have to like it.
But the Chiefs had plenty of games they were good in the second half. And as soon as you said that, I pointed it out, like all the points they scored in certain teams in the first half or the second. It didn't matter.
Did you see the latest fodder he's given? He's given the Patriots.
They're a first half team or second half team. I couldn't remember. But
I'm talking about for this upcoming game. You see the latest ammo.
Oh, I saw it.
Bulletin board material he's given the Patriots.
Yeah, he said their fans will have 2 weeks to wait for the Super Bowl or something.
Correct. Yeah, he's so arrogant.
And then
It
the
pisses me
Patriots
off.
fired back saying, "Well, they'll have 2 weeks in Cancun."
The same thing. It can happen in Cancun too. That's right.
So Sean Payton said that. Well, I can't remember exactly what he said. He was talking about a
No, that
first
was
half
it.
team or second. I can't remember.
Say that again.
Well, we're not as worried about the Chiefs. They're more of a first half team than
they're a
second
first
half
half
team.
team.
So if we
Correct.
can compete with them or whatever. So,
He wasn't wrong. Again, it doesn't mean I have to like it though.
but anyway, he's very arrogant in what he does.
Yep.
And everybody, you know,
He's got such a punchable
and we'll see what
face.
happens. Like the Stidham story is an interesting story. Like,
Do you buy this whole Stidham's not that much of a downgrade from Bo Nix? Because I don't. I mean, to a certain degree, I
just
guess.
look, it's
but
just a big difference between true bona fide starters in the NFL and your backup. There is a big
it's
difference.
been a backup in
There's
the
the
league for
difference.
this long for a reason.
There's the difference. We saw the difference when Minshew came in for Mahomes.
Yes.
He was serviceable, but there is definitely a gap when you go down to Chris Oladikin.
Oh my God,
That's going down to your third
Oladokun,
string.
yeah. Don't get me started.
When you go down that far. But, yeah, Stidham thing is interesting because, yeah, that's an interesting story. This guy, you know, coming in, second stringer, getting his chance. I mean, that's a good story. The thing with Sean Payton is, though, it didn't have to be. He could still have his quarterback, and no one's talking about it. There was a time when the game was 23-17. The Broncos had the ball at the 40-yard line of the Bills. He decides to punt. That would have put Will Lutz, who was 4 for 4 in the game, for a 57-yard attempt in altitude with the good kicker. He kicks that football in that situation, goes up 26-17, never goes to overtime. He still has a quarterback for the championship game. Why he punted there, I have no idea. Here was the thing. The Bills never punted in that football game. It was a no-punt game. They never punted. But they turned the ball over 5 times. The only time the Broncos stopped them is when, and then credit to them, the only time they stopped the Bills was the Bills' turnover, but you
can't count on that.
You can't always count on turnovers happening. But the Bills were very generous giving the football over to the Broncos, including at the end there when they get that field goal at the end of the half. But they couldn't stop Buffalo's offense. I mean, they had 449 yards. The Broncos gave up more points so far, or more yards in the postseason than anybody else. Their defense is ranked last with the postseason teams. Their defense was great during the regular season. That particular Saturday, outside of getting turnovers, that defense was bad.
It looked bad.
And as far as if they kick a field goal there and Will Lutz misses the kick, I get it. They get the ball where he missed from, right? They get the ball there.
But they weren't stopping him regardless.
They weren't. They ended up punting it, getting, 35 net yards on the punt. It doesn't matter at that point if the Bills had the ball at the 2-yard line or the 50. It didn't matter. They were scoring. That was that time again. Again, it's the game flow. It's like when Andy Reid went 4-on-1, but the defense is playing well, right? You say, why did you go 4-on-1 there in that situation back in your own territory? Or if you don't get it, gets the other team short field position when your defense is playing so good. So sometimes head coaches, they don't step back far enough and realize, okay, this isn't the regular season. This isn't the defense doing dominant things. Today, this said day, they can't stop Buffalo. They can't do it. So you can punt to them, but they're still going to drive it down and score on you. If they don't turn it over, they're going to score on you. But he trusted his defense in that situation. And that was a situation where he didn't have to. And then Sean McVay did a head scratcher too with 2:07 left before the 2-minute warning. Chicago had used 2 timeouts. He runs the ball on 3rd and 10. A pass ends the game. He throws the ball with the quarterback that may win MVP this year, that's won a Super Bowl, when you have the best receiver in the NFL.
It's a little too conservative,
this year,
I agree.
Puka. And I get it, Stafford wasn't having the greatest game and it was cold, but you complete at least a 10-yard pass, game's over. Game's over. Chicago had a chance at the end to come back and do it because that's what they do. It's the cardiac bears that come back at the end and win games. Crazy situations. And McVay talked about in his post game, and he said he shouldn't have done it and stuff like that. But those were head-scratching decisions that both those coaches happened to win, but they were just head-scratching decisions. You're like, man, these coaches got all the way to the postseason. They make these errors that could have cost their football team in certain situations. But the Bills-Broncos game was great. Stidham's a good story. It just is. And that defense for the Broncos, I do expect it to play better than what it did against Buffalo. Buffalo, that offense with Josh Allen, just a different deal, man. That's it. They were tough. That offense was tough. With Cook doing what he does, they couldn't stop him. And with Josh Allen, they could stop him only if he turned it over. Like, that were the only 2 situations where he was going to turn it over. But Cook had 117 yards in that game. They ran for 183.
I thought they should have given him the ball more. Granted, he fumbled, but I mean, he was rattling off probably what was his average? Do you have it up? I think it was averaging like 5-6 yards a carry or something like that. Again, I mean, he had
only 24 carries for 117.
Yeah, he was torching him on the ground. I thought it was a mistake not utilizing him more.
So Denver gets the win. I think their defense will play better than what they did, obviously, in that game. But I was shocked at that. I was like, man, I understand you have a good defense all year, but you put in a situation, you go ahead and let Will Lutz, who's 4 for 4 in that game, long of 50 in that game, you let him kick that 57-yarder, especially in altitude. We see college kickers doing it all the time. And keep in mind, they should have learned from the first game the Bills played, when they played Jacksonville. They left 1:03 on the clock and what a timeout for Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence to come back and just get a field goal to tie that game. Which Cam Little was the kicker for Jacksonville. I know he had missed one earlier, but this year he has a 68 and a 67-yard field goal. So you're giving the other quarterback 1:03 on the clock just to get in field goal range to tie it up with the kicker with the 2 longest field goals in the NFL history. That's tough, man. And you know what? Mahomes wasn't over there, so they got through because Trevor Lawrence did a Trevor Lawrence thing and jacked it up. So yeah, but you got to be careful for it. But regardless. New England, I know lots being made on who they're playing as far as quarterbacks and teams because people look at their schedule. Their schedule hasn't been that good. But that team they beat in the Texans, that is a great defense they beat. C.J. Stroud, he was absolutely terrible in this game.
Awful.
It's a shocker. He has 2 playoff wins in his past already. But that was an awful performance. And now they get Jarrett Stidham. Hey, they still got to play in Denver. I'm still expecting the Patriots-Broncos game to be a good game. Seahawks, Rams, that should be a good game as well.
I think so. This is for the Super Bowl, right? I mean, if we're being realistic, this is really the Super Bowl.
I don't know, man. You get 2 weeks. You get 2 weeks to prepare for one of these teams. The Seahawks are tough. That's the team at the beginning of it. They said, who would be the lesser of all evils? To me, it was Seattle.
I'm rooting for Seattle at this point.
To me, it was Seattle.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to see the Patriots win.
Don't want to see Stafford get another ring.
Yeah, no. No, Seattle's the least of all evils. Agreed.
I mean, if Stidham wins a ring, they're
No,
still going
let's
to go
not
back.
even go there.
They're
That's
still going to
not
go
even a
back to Bo
possibility.
Nix. So the funny thing is, Stidham would have a ring and Bo Nix wouldn't, and yet Bo Nix will be their starter next year. And deservedly so. I don't know, man. These games are going to be fun. I can't say which one I'm rooting for. I just want to see good games. It's kind of different just sitting back and just watching the games now and then with the dog in the fight. Or like, hey, this is going to be the Chiefs' next opponent next week. Let's see what they got.
Now, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit there, Ben Guy. I would love to see the Broncos just get completely blown out. I really would. I don't want to see a competitive game.
So you want to see New England win yet another one?
I mean, look, chances are they're going to win anyways. Let's just go ahead and embarrass the Broncos and just be done with it.
But I am so tired
I
of
don't
New
really
England
want to watch
being
that game
in the
anyways.
Super Bowl every year.
That will give me an excuse not to have to watch it, Bank. I don't want to watch it and watch it be close and then have to actually tune in. Just if you're going to beat them, just blow them out of the water. I can watch something else and then come back to the
February 8th is the Super Bowl. You know, next year it's on Valentine's Day.
Did not.
Isn't that perfect?
I like it.
You don't do crap.
Well,
what are we doing today? We're watching football.
Some of us still do.
Nah, you don't do anything. It's not Valentine's Day. It's Super Bowl Sunday.
Some of us have wives and,
she'll understand, right?
daughters and
she's going to be
things we
really
need to
happy
do.
when you tell her it's on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, it definitely kind of
She's gonna be real
what
happy
we
when you
would
tell her that.
normally need to do. Yes.
Part of the deal. Part of the fun. Part of the fun. The awards have been announced for the NFL Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, things like that. Give you those finalists next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Football playoffs are here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on the gridiron action because you can make entries and win money. Right now in Missouri, it is incredibly easy to get started over on Underdog. Just choose one of your favorite players and choose if they'll go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. Get them right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. The best place to get in on the gridiron action right now in Missouri. Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncbgambling.org.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack with every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll get a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts mean more ways to level up your playoff bets. We are just a couple of weeks away from the NFL season completely winding down, and we're going to find out who plays in the big game. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot on an upset, and build a parlay that fits this championship moment. Then apply those profit boosts and go for an even bigger payout to keep the playoffs fun rolling along. We are just a couple of weeks away from the NFL season completely winding down, and we're going to find out who plays in the big game. Visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack for every NFL playoff game day. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable profit book token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and on behalf of everyone here, I want to thank you for listening to another season of Chiefs football right here on 96.5 The Fan. Although the season didn't go as planned, we saw record listenership these last 6 months, and that's all thanks to our listeners and Chiefs Kingdom. Our coverage will not change these next couple of months as we get you ready for a busy offseason, starting with the Combine, free agency, and the NFL Draft. Stay up to date with us on YouTube, Instagram, the Odyssey app, or right there in your car. This is your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
That's right, man. It's coming up. April 23rd through Saturday, April 25th. The NFL Draft in Pittsburgh. What's today? The 22nd?
Correct.
So tomorrow is 3 months.
That's right.
February, March, then April. As far as the NFL drafts, it's 90 days. Let's go, man. Let's go. It's that time. I want to hear from people, though. What are these stores like? I'm looking at Twitter and things like that. People saying not so fun going into Walmarts and stuff. I think someone on Twitter described it going through the gates of hell. I think it was Josh Chavis on Twitter. That's what he said, going through the gates of hell through Walmart. I'm sure it's tough. I've seen a lot of the pictures and stuff of people in Texas and Arkansas and stuff going because they get the ice storm of what it's like going to a store. If you've waited to go to a store, I'd love to hear from you. 913-586-7965 for 2 questions. How long was the line once you had everything? Like, how long did you wait in line?
I was out there earlier today, and I thought, I'll get out there. It was like about 2 o'clock. I went to Aldi's. And I thought, that's an odd time to go. It shouldn't be that busy. The entire parking lot was full.
At 2 o'clock?
At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, correct. I didn't have to wait too long in line, but they did have every single register and self-checkout open. So
no, that's key.
I still had to wait maybe about 5 to 7 minutes. But normally you're in and out of that place with no issues. They had every single line open. I still had to wait.
So how long?
And
the
everything
line
was off the shelves, basically.
Yeah. That's the other question. How much was still left?
No, like the sliced cheese. I got like one of the last things of sliced cheese. There was no lunch meat. There was like a little bit of chicken left. There was no ground beef. It was starting to get bare cupboards already at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I remember Wachowski and I once asked a grocery store. We were curious. We said, what do people get? What is like the main item when a snowstorm's coming? What do they get?
Milk, eggs, toilet paper.
Well, obviously those. But what's something out of the unusual that people go grab? And believe it or not, there's shredded cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Like people love shredded cheese because you can do so many things with shredded cheese. So people are going and buying their damn shredded cheese. I'd probably head for the canned chili or the canned crap you can have throughout the week or whatever that doesn't ever really go bad. Plus a nuclear attack, but that might, like, Twinkies would survive that.
Well, the good thing is, Bink, it's going to be so cold out. If you lose power, you don't have to worry about your food going bad. So,
I was just curious, like even like these, and I know this is going to be probably a big snowstorm. It appears that what's going to be because all the weathermen and weatherwomen in the national, the the weather channels and things like that all say, talking about the Snowmageddon, because it's so big. It's not just isolated here. It's in Kansas City
nationwide.
storm. This is 40 states. He said 40 states involved in this, and all the airlines. I can't imagine you're trying to fly somewhere on Saturday. Just forget about it. If you're planning to get somebody somewhere Saturday leaving from here, I mean, I expect that airport at some point. Well, maybe I don't know, because it's just snow here. But down south, there'll be ice and everything. They'll have to close the runways. But I was curious about stores where people went. I looked early in the morning, and the parking lots are starting to fill up. Like, why do you wait so long? Yeah, that's my question. Why do you wait? Because they started talking about this crap like last weekend, didn't they? Like, just go Monday or Tuesday or something, because they started talking about this early. Don't wait for the last minute. It's like when I see these hurricanes, and people like boarding up their houses and stuff and standing these long lines at Lowe's and Home Depot and everything. It's like, just do it in the summertime or do it when it's not hurricane season. Just measure all your windows and get everything. That way, when it happens, you're not sitting there and waiting at Lowe's and Home Depot for 12 hours the day before the hurricane comes.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes it's not necessarily people are going full out grocery shopping, but it's just going and getting some of those few essentials that maybe you're running low on. At least that was my case anyways. So.
My thing, honestly, and I did do this early, it's beer. Like liquor's
it's an essential.
Liquor's an essential. I think so. I think when you think of bread, milk, those kind of things, people can make all the French toast they want. I mean, there's a lot of French toast I think is made. I mean, a lot of people do that with all their milk and eggs and everything else, and end up freezing it when they can drive the next day.
Big French toast fan.
But regardless, getting liquor, I think liquor would be a hot item, man.
Yeah, I don't
know. And you
know.
guys pouring your Coors Lights right now, I'm sure that you have them anyway. But was it tougher to get if you go right before the storm to get the liquor? Because I would think that would be one of the first things. Because you go to the bread aisle, that's here, nothing's there. Then you go to the liquor aisle and you grab something.
Look, if you can't eat your sorrows away, just drink it. Get your calories somewhere.
You would think liquor would be a very, very popular item. You got the football games this weekend. You got the storm. I mean, it's basically, guys, an excuse to drink.
It's an excuse to stay home, not have to do stuff around the house, and watch football. That's correct.
Sit there, scratch yourself, wear your favorite shorts, drink beer, and like you're riding out the storm, right? Just use it.
There's
use
nothing you
this
can
to your
do,
advantage. Use the storm to your advantage.
That's right.
You should all use the storm to your advantage.
Make sure you winterize your house, by the way.
You're not going to be expected to go to weddings or imagine all the people getting married this weekend. Ooh,
I would hope not. I would hope not.
You getting people out in the storm to go to that?
NFL football playoff season. I mean,
I'd just be
it's
like,
a mistake in the first place.
Yeah, it is. You should never get married in football season, especially when you're so close to it right now. Wait till next weekend. Wait for the weekend in between, unless you want to watch the Senior Bowl. But the practices are usually better for it. But I'd say, hey, and I hate Zoom or anything on it, but honestly, I would probably say, how can I watch your wedding on Zoom? And then you're not going to watch it.
Yeah, I was going to say, then you're just not really going to watch it.
No,
but,
I mean, you'd log in or whatever, and you just sit your phone down and be like, hey, it's a great wedding, man. Congrats.
I like it.
I was just curious if people are out right now. Our text line, 913-586-7965. I would love to hear your...
I'm probably going to hit Target after this. There's a few things I missed.
Julio.
I know, Bink. I know.
What'd you forget?
There's a few things that... she wants to make some crock pot stuff that Aldi's didn't have. That.
Oh, my God. You waited till now?
What am I supposed to do, Bink? The wife wants what she wants. You know.
I'm looking up now. Divorce attorneys.
Yeah, the things you do for love, Bink. Things you do.
Divorce attorneys. Well, that's a lot of love. To go to a store at this time of night before the storm of the century, that's some love. You're making crock pot things?
Yeah, that's right.
What kind of things do you make in a crock pot? I'm just curious.
She's making some street corn chicken something or other. I don't know. She wanted to try a new recipe, and you know what? I benefit from it. So
you benefit from
I'm
it.
Going
does
on
she know?
home.
Does she know the kind of crap you're going to be seeing? Does she know you're going to be on the
I'm
news
hoping
tonight?
It's already 9 o'clock at night. By the time I get to the store, it's not going to be terrible. There might not be anything left.
Well, just
for
text me because I want to know what channel to watch you on.
Because
you know the news is there to tell. Last-minute shoppers getting everything in the stores like empty.
Yeah, no, yeah. Chances are the things that I need probably won't be there, but I and I can say I tried.
Man, these stores have to love this, man. Just clears out that inventory.
Oh yeah.
Just clears it out. They have to love this time. This is main money time, man. In the liquor stores and everything. Missouri's great because you get the liquor and the food all in one area.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop.
Kansas, the Missouri liquor stores are great. They're right there with the grocery stores. Oh, they'll deliver. But I don't know if deliveries are really going on during the storm. I bet you'd probably be out of luck doing that. You know what I did the other day, Julio? Is I like pretzel buns a lot.
Okay.
And I was talking to my friend Maloney today. That's Bob's friend, Dusty. Nice guy. But he owns the Landing where we did the thing, in Maloney's and the Sand Trap. So he's in the food industry, right? In the liquor industry, right? And he's kind of in both there. I mean, it's kind of heaven, to be honest with you, but that's what he does. And I was eating these pretzel buns. And I eat pretzel buns for everything, like any kind of hamburger sandwiches, any pretzel buns. Matter of fact, I think they should be mandatory. Like that is
not a big pretzel bun guy.
Really?
No, it's too thick for me.
Damn it, Julio.
No.
This is not.
I know.
As the kids would say, this is not vibing well.
I know. It's understandable.
But they're awesome. But I found them in hot dog buns.
Oh,
pretzel buns that are hot dog buns. I'm serious.
All right.
I got some Nathan's.
That sounds like a good combo.
I got some Nathan's ready to roll, and I've got pretzel buns ready to go with the Nathan's.
You're in heaven.
And I've got cheese and chili to put on top of it. I went 2 days ago too. That was 3 days ago. Yeah. Got the damn hot dogs 3 days ago. Got the pretzel. I'm ready to roll, man. It's gonna be chili dog time.
It sounds good. That's a perfect winter storm meal.
The pretzel buns on a hot dog is game changer.
That is a game changer. It sounds like it.
You know, I know Chicago. They're very proud of their Chicago dogs and everything with their.
I love me a Chicago dog. I'm not gonna lie.
They're great. I went to the Royals White Sox back in 2014 when they served in the press box there at the game. They do Chicago dogs, so they had the pickles and everything else. Hell, I've been doing that for years, but they didn't have pretzel buns. They didn't have pretzel buns on their hot dogs.
It's a game changer.
It is a game changer. You know what? Chicago doesn't have that on you. That is yours if you have it. A chili dog on a pretzel bun on a hot dog. If you can stomach a hot dog. A lot of people don't like hot dogs. I'm fine with them. Yeah. I mean, and I even watch that Nathan's hot dog eating contest, and people usually get sick.
Does not make me want to eat a hot dog. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not a big tubed meat guy to begin with. I'm not the biggest tubed meat guy. No.
Well, I watch the hot dog eating contest every year. That's become a tradition.
That makes you want to eat hot dogs because it makes me want to throw up.
I honestly
love watching it, but it does not make me want to eat a hot dog.
I've watched it, then gone to the K with Vern, and did my own version of the hot dog eating contest later that day after watching that.
I don't dip.
I don't like dipping buns in water. That kind of ruins them.
Yeah, that mushiness. Nah. And I'm not even a big texture guy, but that just looks
I have a
disgusting.
friend that's done that. He's been in eating competitions and he dips the bun.
That's gross.
But he finishes. Very impressive.
I'm
I
sure.
remember back before the Royals or Chiefs did anything, I was so proud of him for winning food competitions. Like that was the only thing I had to root for, the only champion that I had. Because we didn't win baseball.
You've had
here.
old Joey Chestnut on here. You used to have him on every year, didn't you?
Yeah. Imagine if Joey Chestnut walked into your grocery store right now.
He's buying all the hot dogs up.
Buying everything.
Yep.
Buying everything. Well, we didn't get to the awards for the NFL, but the text line distracted me because of them talking about the store. And you saying you're going to the store after the show, which is priceless. Absolutely priceless. That should be Father of the Year. Honestly, Husband of the Year. Let's go ahead and get your coffee mug that says Husband of the Year.
I'm excited.
Yes, you should be very excited.
Yeah.
And I am curious what they have. I want pictures.
All right.
And text me which news channel you're going to be on, because I guarantee you're going to be out there for their coming up at 10 last minute shoppers. Were they able to find anything or not? We'll discuss the NFL awards. Chiefs aren't up for them, by the way. Spoiler. Next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Jewelry Graham. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. We have just the right gift for your sweetheart this Valentine's Day. Any style, any budget. Like heart-shaped necklaces, birthstones, or hand-matched diamond studs. Getting engaged? Create a dream ring and choose from natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to win Valentine's Day. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
License number 2025-11121.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack with every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll get a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts mean more ways to level up your playoff bets. We are just a couple of weeks away from the NFL season completely winding down, and we're going to find out who plays in the big game. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot on an upset, and build a parlay that fits this championship moment. Then apply those profit boosts and go for an even bigger payout to keep the playoffs fun rolling along. We are just a couple of weeks away from the NFL season completely winding down, and we're going to find out who plays in the big game. Visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack for every NFL playoff game day. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan.
Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable profit book token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLE.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Pro Savings Days are on at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get an additional 5% off when you buy 5 or more select GE, Whirlpool, and Electrolux kitchen or laundry major appliances. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 123. Discount valid to My Lowe's Pro Rewards members only. Exclusions and other restrictions apply. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for details. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Julio Sanchez. Julio has to go to a grocery store after the show, which is funny, and I'm concerned about his safety.
Look, I get to cash in one way or another with the wife, so I'm banking these points for something better, you know?
Use it for the Super Bowl. Say, hey, remember when I went out and got a bunch of stuff to eat on that snowstorm? I know it's Valentine's Day, but can I watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah, this is one of those instances where you write it down, you stick it in your back pocket, and you pull that card out for later use.
Scoreboard.
That's right.
No, the reason I said that initially, I forgot to bring it up. Pete Grigsby does weather on KMBC. Snow amount update because these weathermen
All right.
change the forecast with new information, new data, whatever you want to call it.
Where are we at?
It says, along with timeline, as stated in previous post, snow amount numbers will be tweaked based on newer data, storm path, etc. Yes, we have increased the high end amount. The graphics are below. I guess you're getting this stuff late Friday night into Saturday. Going to be a lull, and then of course it's going to.
But
so
what
if
does
you
that
shovel
mean,
on
a high end
Saturday,
amount? So it still could be 4 inches, but now instead of 8, it's going to be 10.
It's
so they're
6 to
increasing
10.
the window.
6 to 10 is what it says on here for most of
All
Kansas
right.
City and
All right.
from Leavenworth, KC, Lee Summit, Olathe. But as that line seems to be creeping up because it was 2 to 4, 2 to 6, then 3 to 8, and 4 to 8. It always changes. But like I've said, are they going to get it 100% right? No, they're not. Because there's sometimes they'll say it's going to be half a foot and there's nothing. And sometimes they say nothing and you may have half a foot. You never know. But the one thing they never get wrong is that it's going to be cold. Like if they say it's going to be cold, chances are it's going to be cold. You're not talking, you're not going to wake up and they're going to miss the forecast and it's going to be like 50 degrees. The snow totals, you don't know. But when they say it's going to be, hovering around 0 wind chill and things like that, probably going to be right. Probably going to be right on that end. But regardless, yeah. But at least it's going to be snow, and we're not getting any of the power line dragging ice that forms on top of it and crap like that, trying to walk.
I can do the cold, just not the ice.
Yeah, not the ice. So we're lucky because parts of the country, like in the South, they're getting a lot of ice on there. The AP Most Valuable Player, the AP Defensive Player of the Year, all these awards have been they've come down to their finalists. The MVP will be Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, or Matthew Stafford. I'm going to say Stafford on this one. It's going to be between him and Drake May, in my opinion. Now, Christian McCaffrey is the only non-quarterback here in the finalist, and you can make a real good argument because you look at San Francisco and all the injuries they had this year. He wasn't, and he played.
Yeah.
And the one thing about Christian McCaffrey is, and I think he is kind of underrated this year, because he did play all the games. But keep in mind, only 3 humans have ever ran for 1,000 yards and caught 1,000 yards in a year. That's it. That's the list. Roger Craig, Marshall Faulk, and Christian McCaffrey. There's the 3 guys that have ran for 1,000 and caught for 1,000. However, Christian McCaffrey this year, 1,202 yards rushing, 924 receiving. He was that close to 1,000 in both. And when I say only 3 players have done it, that player almost did it twice. That's still incredible. 924 catching and going for 1,202. Can you imagine McCaffrey with Reed if he used him properly? Can you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
McCaffrey and how good he would have been in this offense, catching the football.
But would he be used the same way and the same amount that he's being used with San Francisco? I don't know.
It depends because the one thing with Reed is he will use running backs at times. Kareem Hunt did lead the NFL in rushing with Andy Reid as his head coach. Like that did happen.
That's fair. That
did happen. Andy Reid had the league's leading rusher. But McCaffrey being able to catch the football because they love these running backs and catch. But then they actually run the ball and catch it at the same time. Wow. Being able to do both disciplines, that's crazy.
If Saquon didn't win it last year, there's no way he's winning it this year.
He won't. It's going to be Drake May. It's going to be Drake May or Matthew Stafford. Drake May, believe it or not, has one game in his career over 300 yards
I
passing.
know. That's a crazy stat.
And he did it this year. One game over 300 yards passing in the NFL. And if that game didn't happen, it's rare where you see a guy being considered for an MVP at quarterback that has one or fewer 300-yard games.
Yeah, but it's been that kind of year, right? It's been a very underwhelming year.
It has
this
been.
Year
That's been weird.
Every offense.
AP Defensive Player of the Year, Will Anderson of the Texans, Nick Bonito of the Broncos, Myles Garrett of Cleveland, Aiden Hutchinson of Detroit, Micah Parsons of Green Bay.
I mean, it's Myles Garrett, right?
It's Myles Garrett.
I mean, it's not even close.
You set an NFL record.
Yeah.
It's yours. It's
Yeah.
Myles Garrett, that one. AP Offensive Player of the Year, Drake May, McCaffrey. This would be the time you say, okay, well, McCaffrey, this is it, because those are huge offensive numbers. Puka, Bijan, and JSN of Seattle. I would probably go McCaffrey.
Yeah, I don't
in
think
this
that's
situation.
even close either.
I really like Puka.
Christian
though.
McCaffrey.
Puka could be a close second.
He's a monster, man. He's a beast.
What he does blocking, he does everything at wide receiver, everything that you want. AP Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jackson Dart, Emeka Egbuka, Travion Henderson, Tedero McMillan, Tyler Shuck of the Saints. Man, I still love what McMillan did. That was one of my favorite receivers coming out of draft. So maybe I'm slotted on that.
Especially for the team that
AP Defensive Rookie of the Year, Abdul Carter, Nick Abenaware, James Pierce Jr., Carson Schlesinger of the Browns, Xavier Watts of the Falcons. Abdul Carter, man, I know he
was on a milk carton most of the year, no?
Hey, but the pressures were there. But Carson led the way as far as tackles. So that's probably the direction
Is that
I would go.
Schlesinger?
Carson Schlesinger.
Yeah, he was a beast.
AP Comeback Player of the Year, Stephon Diggs, Aiden Hutchinson, Trevor Lawrence, McCaffrey, or Prescott. I'm going to go Aiden on this one because I really thought Aiden would be.
You don't think Trevor?
I thought he'd be the odds-on favorite.
You don't think Trevor Lawrence, though? I mean, he really had a solid year.
No, he did. There's no arguing that, but Aiden.
How many sacks did he end up with?
Who wins it next year? Is it
Burrow.
Mahomes?
Burrow's going to come back,
Or Burrow? Burrow, Mahomes.
He got injured this year. This is standard procedure.
AP Coach of the Year, Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, Mike McDonald, Kyle Shanahan, Mike Vrabel. This list is actually good. You could actually make an argument for all of them.
That's a Vrabel, though, right?
What
That's
Liam
Vrabel.
Cohen did with Jacksonville, what Ben Johnson did with Chicago. Mike McDonald, what he's doing in Seattle. It'd be tough not to go him. Kyle Shanahan, what he did with San Francisco this year, considering all the injuries and the fact that their practice field's next to a power plant that they're going to be doing research on now because of all the injuries.
I mean, look, it does need to be looked
supply,
into.
Mike Vrabel. I guess probably Vrabel.
Just because it was such a drastic turnaround.
And winning that division over Buffalo that had a lock on that division, what they've been doing in last year's MVP, probably go Vrabel.
I'd go Vrabel. Correct.
Anyway, take a timeout. Coming back, we'll look at that storm once again. Plus, once again, look at these NFL games this weekend. Do you actually have a dog in the fight? I asked you last week who you're going to be going for. It's very tough last week. Have you changed your mind? What teams do you want to see in the Super Bowl? Because we're at that point now. You're going to see 2 of these 4 teams in the Super Bowl. Who do you want it to be? Who do you not want it to be? I have a feeling nobody wants any of the teams in the AFC. Unfortunately, you have to see one of them go. Talk about that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Start the new year by moving, not hurting. If joint pain's holding you back, then listen up. There's a way to get real relief without surgery, without downtime, and without putting your life on pause. QC Kinetics delivers regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, shoulders, your back, wherever it hurts. Instead of facing an invasive operation that sidelines you for months, these treatments happen right in the office and you go about your day. Skip the 3 to 6 months of recovery. Skip the pain. Skip the invasive surgery. Imagine this instead. You're moving stronger and better and planning the year you want. Game-changing regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics. January is supposed to be your clean slate, so make it one. Stop managing the pain and start solving it with QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics. The football playoffs are here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all of the gridiron action. Right now, you can make entries and win money in Missouri. And playing on Underdog is so easy. Just choose if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats, like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. Get them right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. And I love playing on the Underdog app. Not only do I like football, but I love basketball and hockey as well. I can mix and match selections from each sport into one entry to see what I do. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use promo code BOB to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code BOB. Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 and over and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms. _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ziprecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Pro Savings Days are on at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get an additional 5% off when you buy 5 or more select GE, Whirlpool, and Electrolux kitchen or laundry major appliances. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 123. Discount valid to My Lowe's Pro Rewards members only. Exclusions and other restrictions apply. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for details. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
And welcome back. Jay Binkley, Julio Sanchez producing the operation. Yeah, Carson Schweizinger, Julio, ended up finishing 6th. So he finished 6th in the NFL in tackles with 156. Not bad for the rookie, huh? 2.5 sacks. Of course, the position he played, he was a tackling machine. But 156 tackles, that's tough that is tough to beat there. By the way, MLB Network did their top 100 players. They've been doing that. Guess where Bobby Witt Jr. finished? Number 3.
Not bad.
Number 3. Third best player in Major League Baseball. Of course, now we got to figure out where the Royals are going to be on TV. We know where they're going to be on radio. They're going to be right here. 96.5 The Fan. You'll hear Vern before every game and after every game. That's pretty good. But yes, 9 teams are looking for somewhere to have their games televised, which is a third of the league. That's insane. That's insane. They got to figure that out because people love watching sports on TV. That's pretty much proven out. That's the way that we like to do things, is have things on TV. But the games this weekend, we got to wait till Sunday. Wild Card weekend was fun. It was fun stretching those things out through Monday, right? Then last weekend, that's always my favorite. The divisional. I know you get one less game or a couple. You don't have the Sunday night game. You know, 2 less because you don't have the Sunday night game, and you don't have that Monday night game. But you have 2 good ones on Saturday, 2 good ones on Sunday. But today, this week, Sunday, man, get all that snow coming in allegedly. Saturday night and the Sunday, you get to shovel twice. Once on Saturday. It'd be cold ass to go out there and shovel on Saturday, by the way.
Yeah, throw some salt down and come back to it, you know? Pre-salt it and then come back to it.
But you have to do it again because I guess it's going to be split up in half, right? Half that one time and half the next time. Who knows?
Yep.
And things could shift around, and who knows? And it will be cold, though. So that part, it will be. But you have football all day on Sunday. So all that beer that you bought for the snowstorm, you can put it to good use on Sunday.
I'm not gonna lie. I was looking forward to this weekend, and I'm not looking forward to Stidham.
I prefer you.
I'm not looking forward to seeing Stidham play. As much as I hate the Broncos,
really,
it kind of tarnishes that game for me.
You were hoping for Bo Nix playing?
I mean, look, that's a bit of a stretch. I think that's a strong statement to say. I was
that's
hoping
the only
for
person
Bo
I ever
Nix.
said I
Right. I don't
but
think
he does fit with that team. In his comebacks, his 7 comebacks this year.
It's something. It's not
Bo
nothing.
Nix, it is. He means a lot to that team. He means a lot to that team. A whole bunch. But Jarrett Stidham, I think, is a good story, too. Like, here's this backup, having to step in and
we'll
be
see
the
how
guy.
this weekend goes before we say that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, this is one of those things that we put it this way. It is a storyline, isn't it? And what do you like? You like storyline.
It's a storyline.
This is a
Correct.
storyline. The Buffalo Bills storyline. Because when I go into every NFL season, it's like, all right, you put Kansas City, Buffalo, and it was Cincinnati there for a while, but they're off that tier now, right? But then it was Baltimore. I think they're off that tier now at the point because you got to kind of see what they're going to do with the new coach here.
Well, we
Still
know
got
who
Lamar.
their new coach is, right? So
Yeah, we still what the new coach is.
I don't know that that's much of an upgrade. I wouldn't call that an upgrade, anyways.
But that's the thing about the AFC. It was pretty identifiable tiers. You got to get through Kansas City, you got to get through Buffalo, got to get through Baltimore. Now next year, we're probably going to look at it and say, well, New England's not going anywhere, and Denver's not going anywhere. Oh, the Chargers with McDaniel will probably be just as good, even though they're losing Minter at defensive coordinator. But then Herbert never does anything in the postseason, so that always be brought up. Josh Allen never going to the Super Bowl, that's always going to be brought up. The fact that only the Chiefs, the Patriots, and the Cowboys have won a playoff game in 6 straight years and have 3 Super Bowls in that span. Buffalo's been a great story because remember, before McDermott got there was a 17-year stretch. That was the franchise with the longest playoff drought in all the sports. The Buffalo Bills went 17 years without going to the playoffs. Not winning a playoff game, even going to the playoffs. They spent a quarter century not winning. I know we spent 22 years in Kansas City not winning a playoff game. They went 25 without winning a playoff game. Yeah, they're up and running now and looking good, but, man, that was pretty lean, 17 years of not going to the postseason to be turned around now, and people are wondering if they're ever going to win one again. But, yeah. By the way, another weather forecast coming out here. So that 6 to 10, as Zoe said earlier, that could change. That could change with shifting things. It keeps going higher, though. That's what it keeps doing, Julio.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it.
It seems to keep getting higher. And you kind of want to see it go I don't know, man. I like snow, so whatever. I can't complain. Still shorts weather.
You can complain still. You can complain a little bit.
Yeah. Probably pull a 49ers here. Just won't complain. Get what you get and don't throw a fit, right? We had a good winter. This has been a good winter. Like, to complain about this winter, you can't complain about this winter.
Agreed.
Been in the 50s, been in the 60s. And we had a couple of days, it was like mid-60s, right? When typically it snows, it's been a good winter. You wouldn't trade this winter, would you? Even for a little bad little outburst of snow here?
Nope, not at all.
I wouldn't trade it at all.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by...
Well, you're welcome, Julio. Thank you for listening to After Hours.
I guess, we're just having all kinds of issues tonight.
You threw me for a loop there. I thought we were done. I was like, whoa, what are you doing?
No, I was cutting you off. No?
You cutting me off?
I'm cutting you off now, though.
Why you got to cut me off, man? Why you got to do that to me? Store's still going to be
I got to
empty
get to the
shelves.
store. I got to get to the store. That's why.
They're going to be empty shelves.
It's time to get out of here.
Anyway, stay safe out there. Enjoy the, hope you got all your food. Hope you get your beer, your liquor, whatever. Sit back, watch, enjoy the games. Thanks, Julio Sanchez, producing the operation. Much appreciated. Talk to you later, Kansas City.
To After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports.